NBC5 News at 11.
Thank you so much for joining us this midday. I'm Keenan Willard. We begin with the story out of Grapevine getting national attention. We're awaiting the eventual court hearings for suspects in the deadly hit-and-run jet ski crash on Grapevine Lake. 21-year-old Dykerleen Gonzalez is charged with manslaughter in the death of 18-year-old Ava Moore. Investigators say Sunday, Gonzalez recklessly drove a jet ski that fatally collided with Moore's kayak on Grapevine Lake. She's also charged with leaving the scene. And 21-year-old Michael Peroso is charged in a separate hit-and-run incident after the lake crash. Our Larry Collins is live this morning at the Tarrant County Courthouse. Larry, the next steps in this case coming soon.
Yeah, good morning. So here's what I can tell you. Both suspects still being held this midday here at Tarrant County Jail. According to jail records, Gonzalez is held on a $500,000 bond. Peroso, approximately a $3,200 bond. Both have a magistrate warning on file, both filed today. Now, that's the formal legal notification outlining their rights and the charges they face. According to the U.S. Immigration and Customs Enforcement officials, both now face possible deportation. ICE confirms that Gonzalez and Peroso, who are Venezuelan nationals, entered the United States at the southern border back in 2023. Both are here illegally. ICE says they have lodged immigration detainers with the local facility here in North Texas.
Once the state of Texas goes through the process and the criminal charges, we'll take custody of them once the state of Texas is finished with them. Both individuals will have to see an immigration judge who will decide whether they are removed back to Venezuela.
Now, NBC5 spoke with an attorney not affiliated with this case for a bit of insight into what immigration status could mean for the legal process.
If she has an immigration hold and somebody attempts to pay the bond, she would not come out to the street, for example, like a U.S. citizen would. She would be transferred to immigration and processed with immigration. Immigration would determine whether she is deported or processed in immigration court, or even the immigration judge or agent could send her back to face her criminal charges so that she's not trying to evade or avoid facing the law.
Now, local and state officials say this is still a very active investigation. More charges could be added. Live in Fort Worth, Larry Collins, NBC5.
Larry, thank you. New this midday, the Tarrant County DA's office has dismissed the murder charge against former Arlington police officer Robert Phillips. Phillips was accused in the October 2022 fatal shooting of Jesse Fisher after a slow-speed chase. Investigators say Fisher had driven away from officers twice before turning into a dead-end street. As Fisher tried to drive toward Phillips, the officer got out and opened fire. Phillips was terminated 2 days later for violating department policy concerning officers putting themselves in the path of a moving vehicle and when they may shoot at a moving vehicle. Taking a live look from Fort Worth, the weather's looking good for your midday plans, but a system in Oklahoma could bring some storms later to North Texas. Let's get right over to meteorologist Adrian Vaughn. Adrian, we could really feel this going into the evening.
Yeah, we're watching a cold front that'll be sliding its way into North Texas as we push towards the evening and overnight time period, and that's what's going to be bringing in some thunderstorms across the area. And some of the storms later on could be strong, potentially severe. We do have a little bit of activity on the radar this morning, now pushing across sections of southern Oklahoma, and as they've moved across the Red River into North Texas, they've really lost some of their momentum. Those storms continue to weaken, but nonetheless something to keep in mind if you've traveled plans up towards 35 into southern Oklahoma. That's where we could be running into some thunderstorms as early as noontime. You can see the view outside in both Dallas and in Fort Worth, where we've got the clouds in place. Temperatures are in the 70s. As we move towards the afternoon, we are looking for some sunshine. Highs today climbing into the mid 80s across the area. Storm chances, they go up for us as we push into tonight and into early tomorrow morning. I'll have a full look at that timeline for you and the threats those storms could bring in my full forecast in just a little bit.
Adrian, thank you. Today, Northwest ISD is mourning the sudden loss of Trophy Club Byron Nelson head football coach Travis Pride. The district says Pride died suddenly last night, according to a report from our partners at the Dallas Morning News. Pride led the program for 9 seasons, posting a 60-45 record and setting school win records 3 years in a row. Counselors will be on campus today to support students and staff. Travis Pride was 56 years old. And developing this midday, we're seeing mixed reactions on Wall Street after a federal court struck down many of President Trump's sweeping tariffs, ruling them unconstitutional. It's a major blow to the president's signature economic policy. NBC's chief White House correspondent Peter Alexander has the latest.
Overnight, a federal court slamming the brakes on President Trump's sweeping tariffs.
It's our declaration of economic independence.
The U.S. Court of International Trade ruling that the president does not have the authority to impose those steep tariffs on allies or adversaries. The court, in two separate cases, tossing out the tariffs the president imposed under a nearly 50-year-old emergency economic law that had never been invoked in a situation like this. The suits were filed by small businesses and a dozen states, arguing that President Trump violated the Constitution, which grants Congress, not the president, the authority to set tariffs. The administration already appealing, with a White House spokesperson arguing it is not for unelected judges to decide how to properly address a national emergency. The ruling injecting new uncertainty into the president's on-again, off-again tariffs, with many businesses complaining his chaotic approach has made it impossible to plan their purchases ahead.
Thank you very much.
Hours before the ruling, the president took issue with accusations he's backed down on his tariff threats. When asked about a new term reportedly used by some on Wall Street, taco, short for Trump always chickens out.
Oh, isn't that nice? Chicken out. I've never heard that. You mean because I reduced China from 145%? I mean, you ask a nasty question like that. It's called negotiation. You set a number. And if you go down, if I set a number at a ridiculous high number and I go down a little bit.
As the president battles the courts, one of his top allies, Elon Musk, confirms he's departing the administration, thanking President Trump for the opportunity to reduce wasteful spending while heading up the Department of Government Efficiency, coming just 2 days after Musk criticized President Trump's signature spending bill.
So, I was disappointed to see the massive spending bill.
Musk now faces a new challenge, trying to rehabilitate his image as a visionary entrepreneur after months of fierce political scrutiny.
That was Peter Alexander reporting. Now to a case that shook the city of Arlington. Police say it's been more than 5 years since 19-year-old Evan Lacey was shot to death. His alleged killer has finally been caught. Darnell Jones II was arrested in Chicago on Sunday. Lacey was reported missing in December of 2019. His body was discovered in Mansfield in early 2020. Jones had been a person of interest in the case, but police say this year they made a breakthrough in DNA evidence from Lacey's car.
Detectives had met with a company that did some DNA research, and they were able to use the blood that we had available to us and link our suspect to the crime.
Jones now awaits extradition back to Tarrant County, facing a murder charge. In northern Arkansas, the manhunt for an escaped killer is entering its 5th day. Search efforts have been hampered by weather and difficult terrain in the area. NBC's Priya Sridhar has been following this story.
This morning in Calico Rock, Arkansas, police checkpoints and heavy surveillance are in place in an all-hands effort to recapture an extremely dangerous escaped killer, Grant Hardin. The 56-year-old former police chief has been serving a lengthy prison sentence for murder and rape. Residents in the area taking precautions.
I just shut the windows and doors and let a pistol out on the coffee table.
Officials say they've expanded the search area with several agencies working around the clock, deploying search dogs and drones to scour this dense and rugged terrain.
There's a lot of vegetation, there's a lot of forests.
Rand Champion is with the Arkansas Department of Corrections.
There's plenty of hiding places. There are a number of abandoned, units, barns and sheds and homes and cars.
Police say Hardin managed to escape in a makeshift outfit designed to look like a corrections officer uniform. According to an affidavit, the disguise convinced a guard to open the gate and let him walk out. Officials in Louisiana say they're making progress tracking down the last 2 men who broke out of a New Orleans jail nearly 2 weeks ago. Domestic abuse suspect Antoine T. Massey and 4-time convicted killer Derek Groves are still at large.
They're both considered armed and dangerous, but we're very close, and that circle is tightening very, very quickly.
New Orleans authorities have arrested a total of 14 people in connection with the mass jailbreak and re-arrested 8 of the 10 men who escaped. Back here in Arkansas, tips and unsubstantiated rumors about Hardin have been pouring in, including the theory he may have floated away down this river. But authorities say there have been no confirmed sightings so far.
I think he didn't get away. I think he's around here somewhere, and they'll probably find him.
That was Priya Sridhar reporting. Atmos Energy customers in Dallas will soon see an increase in their gas bills. This comes after the Dallas City Council approved a rate hike. It's less than what Atmos had originally asked for, but will result in the average residential bill going up about $7.83 a month and amounting to $12.19 per month for businesses. The new rates go into effect this Sunday. Planning a trip, but you're in need of a passport? Well, today and only in Dallas, you can renew or apply for your passport with expedited service. Passport Day is happening in the City Hall flag room. An adult application costs $225 and $195 for minors. If you need to renew, it'll cost you $190. The city says the turnaround time is about 2 to 3 weeks, and all applicants must be present, including minors. Women's basketball is on fire from North Texas to the rest of the country. Now Dallas City leaders are stepping up, backing the Dallas Wings with a major investment, the multi-million-dollar boost that could change the game. And an award-winning community tucked away in North Texas, the comeback story for a Fort Worth neighborhood getting national recognition. A great story out of Cowtown here. A historic black neighborhood in Fort Worth is getting national recognition. Lake Como has now won the overall Neighborhood of the Year 2 years in a row. NBC5's Vince Sims shows us why.
People who live in Lake Como have seen things change.
Oh, you got some good change, you got some bad changes.
Eric Williams says safety is one of the good ones.
Well, I mean, just think about it, you walk around, you ain't got to worry about nothing, you know what I'm saying? So, that's a good thing.
There are also many other good things happening.
From the Como Mobile Food Pantry to the 100th anniversary of the cemetery to the Lake Como Juneteenth celebration to Como Fest. It's a lot of positive things that we do.
Kendra Williams is executive director of Rochelle's Heart, her community organization, and others in collaboration with the Lake Como Neighborhood Advisory Council recently highlighted their good works to the Neighborhoods USA Conference in Florida. Their presentation won the Como Association first place in the Revitalization Beautification category and overall Neighborhood of the Year.
This award doesn't even highlight all of the events that we do because we collaborate and do many different events in the neighborhood. So it's just a great opportunity to let the world know that we are a diamond in the rough.
Fort Worth City Council member Jared Williams, who represents Como, commends the neighborhood's work.
In times of tragedy and in times of celebration, we're rooted in the idea of being one community with one love.
Everyone involved shares that this is much more than just a title.
And it's not just for the award, it's for our residents to also give our younger generation something to look forward to and to let them know that we are here because we are building for our future.
It's so important that our community and our young people understand that we work together regardless to make sure that we have that sense of ownership of our neighborhood.
In Fort Worth, Vince Sims, NBC5.
It's an exciting week for the country's top spellers who are competing at the National Spelling Bee. Out of 243 champion spellers, one lucky student made it all the way to finals once again, and he's from right here in Plano. Faizan Zaki from C.M. Rice Middle School will compete for the grand prize tonight. And get this, he's actually last year's runner-up. 3 other spellers from North Texas also competed this week. They were eliminated yesterday, but still quite the accomplishment. And the excitement over Paige Beckers, paired with new energy surrounding the WNBA, is helping fill seats at Dallas Wings games. And yesterday, the Dallas City Council greenlit $5.5 million to design a new practice facility for the WNBA squad. The building will be in Oak Cliff. The Wings are planning to move from Arlington to Dallas next year.
It's going to cost millions more to build it. And so as long as we are prepared to do that, which we signed a contract to do, then let's go.
Wings home games will be at Memorial Auditorium. City documents reveal the renovation connected to the convention center will last into 2027. In less than an hour, the Melissa Lady Cardinals softball team gets a big send-off as they head to the state finals. The celebration kicks off at noon at the Championship Center. The #1 team in the nation has already smashed the high school home run record. And now at 37-1, they're on the hunt for back-to-back state titles, facing Barbers Hill tomorrow night in Austin. And the Dallas Stars face a tough climb tonight in Game 5 of the NHL's Western Conference Final. The Stars have the most wins on home ice of any teams this postseason, and tonight they hope to get another one against the Edmonton Oilers. Dallas has never won a playoff series when trailing 3-1, so tonight could be the night to start a historic run. After dropping 3 straight games, the Stars need to win 3 straight themselves to avoid a conference finals exit for the 3rd straight year.
That's what it is, right? You just got to go one game at a time. We know we have to win out from here, but, you know, like you said, it takes that first win, so that's our focus right now.
Yeah, we're close. I mean, you know what? Hey, listen, give them credit. They're up 3-1. They found a way. You know, the series could be 2-2 pretty easily, too. So, and you don't have to look any further than the Stanley Cup final last year. The team we're playing was down 3-0 and forced a Game 7.
Boys, got to dig deep here. So some perspective, NHL teams that take a 3-1 lead in the series go on to advance 91% of the time. That's according to our reporting partners over at the Dallas Morning News. But 31 NHL teams have overcome that deficit in the past, so keep hope alive, Stars fans. It's not over till it's over. And unfortunately, neither is some of the threat for some incoming weather in North Texas.
You're saying there's a chance.
There is a chance, and there's also a chance for storms, which is why we turn to Adrienne Vaughn, as usual, to tell us what are we expecting in the next few hours.
You know, most of the day is going to be pretty quiet for us. It's not really until we get into tonight that we'll start to see some thunderstorms move in. Could be a little rowdy as we are all trying to head to sleep here tonight, so something to keep in mind there. This the view outside this morning as we are looking at the radar. You can see that we do have some rain and thunderstorm activity here across southern Oklahoma. This activity is really weakening as it approaches the Red River. Still can't rule out some lightning strikes, some moderate and even heavy rainfall at time to time for areas up towards the Red River, but this again will continue to weaken as it is working its way to the south and southeast. This the view outside in Denton, where we do have some sunshine already starting to break through the flags outside of the county courthouse there. Moving just a little bit. Winds are out of the south at 10 miles per hour. We're sitting at 73 degrees right now, and dew point values are in the mid and upper 60s. So it's feeling a little sticky, a little bit uncomfortable. We do have the cold front pushing in as we head towards tonight, and that's going to offer up some relief as we are wrapping up the week tomorrow. Temperatures out the door sitting into the mid 70s from McKinney back towards Greenville at 74 in Arlington, 71 for you in Weatherford. So mild conditions at this point. As we move through the afternoon, we'll see more in the way of sunshine filtered in with the clouds from time to time. High temperatures today topping out into the mid 80s. Storm chances start to go up for us as we push into this evening and then into the overnight. We'll be dealing with rounds of rain and thunderstorms moving through our area. High temperatures today a little warmer compared to where we were yesterday, with most of us looking at highs in the low and mid 80s. As we head towards tonight, the cold front does bring in storms, and some of the storms could be on the strong side, potentially even severe side. So something we'll need to monitor. Large hail, damaging winds, the greatest threat going to be for areas to our south and southwest. You'll notice we're in a level 2 risk from Ranger back towards Stephenville. Cleburne also included in that as well. A large area included in a level 1 risk as we move into tonight. So here's what it looks like on Futurecast. Again, it's relatively quiet for most of today with a mixture of sun and clouds through the afternoon. We may see some of those scattered showers and thunderstorms up through the Red River through the afternoon time period. And as we move into tonight, we'll start to see a few spotty showers and thunderstorms develop by 8, 9 o'clock. But the main show arrives late tonight and into early tomorrow morning. This is at midnight, and you'll notice that activity off towards our west. That will be pushing its way in early tomorrow morning. So if you're a light sleeper, if you've got pets or kids that don't do well with storms in the middle of the night, it could be a rough ride for you in through the overnight tonight. And then as we move towards tomorrow morning, all of it clears out. We'll look for sunshine as we move towards the midday tomorrow and some pleasant weather conditions. With a north wind, we'll see highs into the mid and upper 70s, some touching off close to 80 degrees. Keenan, we do warm things back up, though. We're at 90 degrees on Sunday, and it looks like a string of 90-degree days on hand as we move into next week.
Yeah, we knew that heat was coming. A lot to watch out for there, Adrienne. Thank you so much. And stay with us here. The 5 stories you need to know coming up next. Now to 5 stories we're following through the afternoon here at NBC5. Authorities continue investigating the fatal hit-and-run crash on Grapevine Lake. 2 suspects now being held at the Tarrant County Jail, both awaiting court hearings and facing possible deportations. According to jail records, Dykerlene Gonzalez is being held on a $500,000 bond and Michael Peroso on a $3,200 bond. And it's that time of the year again. Dallas County is reporting its first positive test for West Nile virus. The locations include Irving, Richardson, and Rowlett. Richardson health officials say they're spraying the area in their city today to help prevent the spread of the virus. And the Dallas City Council has approved an Atmos Energy rate hike. Customers in Dallas can expect to see their average home bill increase about $8 per month. New rates go into effect this Sunday. And today, and only in Dallas, Passport Day is happening. Renew or apply for a passport with expedited service. Application and renewal fees range between $225 to $190. The city says the turnaround time is about 2 to 3 weeks. And on NBC5 First at 4, if you're feeling stuck in a rut in your career, it might be time to call a coach. What they can and can't do to help you land a better job. Coming up ahead at 4. And again, we are looking over at the weather. Possible storms moving into North Texas.
Yeah, most of the day is quiet, so I want to show you the futurecast again as we push into this evening. Starting to see some showers and thunderstorms develop by 8, 9 o'clock. The main show, though, arrives late tonight, getting into early tomorrow morning, and some of these storms may bring in hail and high winds. All of it's out of here by tomorrow morning, and then we'll look for sunshine as we get towards the afternoon. Pleasant conditions with a north wind developing. Our high temperatures tomorrow sitting in the upper 70s to near 80 degrees, Keenan.
All right. We know that heat's always coming as we get into the summer months. Thank you, Adrian. And now, coming up on NBC5, looking ahead at Texas today, Herb's House Coffee Company rolls up in the Herbster. Now, you're not going to want to miss that. Plus, spring and summer fashion trends and meet artist Carisha Davis. Stay tuned. Texas Today is next. Thank you so much for joining us here on the Midday. I'll be back with The Connection in the next hour.